All right, thanks to Ashley there. Mayor Mike Johnston warning that Denver is nearing a breaking point in the migrant crisis. More than 3,800 being sheltered right now and more than 38,000 helped in the last year. Well, new tonight, Mayor Johnston saying that the city is considering putting a pause on taking in more migrants in an interview on KOA Radio. Take a listen.
Tonight, one of Colorado's largest hospitals facing a crisis. Physicians at Denver Health telling us they treat everyone who comes to the ER regardless of immigration status or ability to pay. But they're struggling to handle a spike in migrant patients.
The latest on the migrant crisis in Denver, the city discharging hundreds of people from its shelters in just 3 weeks.
And many of them are just ending up right back on the streets. Tonight, we talked to the city about the situation and why the city says it seems to be catching a break.
There's an old saying at closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. As the city of Denver prepares to discharge migrant families from shelters next Monday, they're putting a new twist on that saying. You can't stay here, you can't be homeless, and no, we might not have a home for you.
Right now, many migrants in Denver are having a hard time finding work because of federal work rules.
Yeah, the city is now exploring the possibility of having migrants work for the city. And reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us. And Brianna, this is a kind of loophole to the federal rules.
A Colorado town pushing back on the surge of migrants arriving in Denver, which is about 50 miles away, unanimously voting not to be a sanctuary city. Officials in Monument, Colorado, passing a resolution to not accept any buses from Denver carrying migrants, saying they just can't afford the cost, and they will not use taxpayer funds.
More than 2,000 migrants are in Denver shelters tonight, but their time is running out.
Some are now finding themselves on the streets in these freezing temperatures. Denver 7's Christian Lopez spoke with migrant families today asking for help.
Colorado First now in Denver. In less than 24 hours, 16 buses packed with migrants arrived in Denver. The city of Denver confirms 9 busloads arrived last night, 7 this morning from Texas. Overall, there are about 3,800 migrants right now in shelters in the metro area.
Denver has a population of 700,000 people. In just the last year, nearly 40,000 migrants have arrived. The mayor declaring a state of emergency. More than 8,000 migrants have come to Denver Health for care, and most of that is coming out of the hospital's pocket.
At the start of the year, 200 plus migrants were arriving in the Mile High City every single day. That number has dropped dramatically.
Right now, we're seeing between 20 and 30 people a day.
John Ewing with the city of Denver says it's opened up more resources for families who are timing out of shelters.
More breathing room to work with the current population and really focus on their needs. So it's been incredibly helpful.
Mayor Mike Johnston's office says hiring migrant workers for city jobs is a last option that they're exploring at the moment. It also comes with legal risk. They say if former President Donald Trump wins the election in November, everything could change when it comes to immigration.
Many families who are staying in these tents tell us that they were previously living in this hotel, but they were kicked out because their time ran out. They tell us the only reason they're getting by is because of generous community members like these who are constantly stopping by and delivering food and other donations.
At the start of the month, Denver started discharging migrants living in shelters to enforce time limits previously set by the city. At the time, there were close to 3,900 migrants. That number has dropped to 2,400 in the span of 3 weeks. Ewing says most people are finding housing.